Okay, so now we are coming from Maine and we are in
Massachusetts, which is very exciting because Massachusetts marks our first stop with family members along this entire route.
So much fun. So it's extended family we're staying with on my dad's side, Tom and Sue, and the most fun event I think we've done almost on this entire event or entire route. So the thing I just thought was over the top cool was they invited us on their sailboat.
How much fun to go on a family sailboat and just to go cruising along, like just so much fun, like the little Bay Area.
Well, we've done so much traveling in almost every type. So we've been on an airplane.
Right.
We've been driving, obviously.
Right,
We've done a couple trains, and so now adding a boat.
Right.
It's like we're just knocking off the transportations.
Yeah, that's so a lot of fun. And the kids had a lot of fun too, sailing. You know, just.
Well, and it was like a personal boat. So we're so used to the RV and that tiny space. So going to see it on a boat. And this was an old, cool wood boat.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah. While we were staying with them, we did something else while we were there. Something called mooch docking.
Oh.
So mooch docking, if you've heard of boondocking, which is basically being completely self-sufficient in the middle of nowhere, mooch docking is really doing the same thing but in somebody's driveway, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, and there's a lot of other families watching this video that have experienced that.
Yes.
So, yes, it was a lot of fun, and we had a great time staying with them.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Dinner with family. Like, we hadn't seen family in a while, so it was just so much fun to connect with people.
And we so appreciate you, Tom and Sue, if you're watching this. Thank you so much for having us.
Definitely a highlight.
Yes.
Don't mind the 4-year-old in the background climbing up the cabinets. What are you doing?
We did hit Salem, Massachusetts while we were there, and so much fun. Like, a lot of Salem's history really revolves around
maritime. It's the trade, the boats, and right off the water.
Also the Salem witch trials.
Witch trials. And that was, I mean, it's just kind of sad. You do the history, and it's just, you know, it's all miscommunication, really, at its core.
But we won't get into that. But yeah, but also the maritime.
And there were so many old things there. I mean, I think that's what I enjoyed, is now we're starting to hit a lot of the East Coast. It was just old. So you got really old dates and just things that have been around. And I know we've done a little bit of European travel, and it kind of started bringing some of that back.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I'd agree with that.
About what I have learned today.
Okay, so after Boston and Salem, we traveled down and we stayed just outside of Plymouth for 2 main reasons. One is we wanted to do the Plymouth stuff, and 2, Cape Cod.
Ah, yes. Cape Cod.
First we actually drove all the way out to Cape Cod. We did, I think that's one of the listed scenic drives of the country.
It is. And also out there is the Cape Cod National Seashore.
National Seashore.
So that was really what brought us out there in the first place. And in addition to that, we have learned to really love Cape Cod kettle chips.
Oh,
and their factory, their home-based factory was out there too. So we got to do a little visit.
That was just one of those surprising things that we just kind of Googled and it happened to be on the route. So we visited that. And then we found the lighthouse.
We
It's on the
did.
front of the bag. So cool.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Such an experience there. And you know, when you're doing RV travels, those kind of small details and experiences.
It's the things you didn't even plan. It just kind of worked out.
They just work out
Some of
and
those are the
pop
best
up
ones.
and just so much fun.
Yeah, and so we did Cape Cod, though. We learned about the lighthouses and kind of the beginning of some of the National Guard work with,
the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard and the saving of sailors, with the Northeasterners. Lots of good ranger talks there. The Seashore itself was great.
It was
There was a
beautiful.
shark attack while we were there.
Not where we were though.
No, actually not far.
It wasn't too far
Not
up,
far.
but we weren't on the beach when that happened, but we visited the beach where...
Close enough. And I was definitely harassing Chris when it didn't happen, and then it happened while we were there.
Because it was one of those things where you go through the visitor center and you're picking up brochures of local things to do, and one of them is, you know, shark safety.
Shark awareness.
So I was
A lot
like,
of people talk about bear aware. We were shark aware.
we were shark aware, and I picked one of those up, and so Andy was harassing me a little bit about that.
Never up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. But I get up, I always do. I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump, oh what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again. I will get up again. Stronger than I ever been. I will get up again. Stronger than I ever been. I will get up again. Stronger than I ever been. I can see everything clearer. Trying to fly 'cause I'm light as a feather. But I get high, I get low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. But I get up, I always do. I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump, oh what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again. I will get up again. Stronger than I ever been.
Okay, so after Cape Cod, which was just gorgeous, we went over to Plymouth. And in Plymouth, they have a Plymouth Village. What is it called?
Plymouth Plantation.
Plymouth Plantation. And this plantation is a reconstruction of the original settlement that the Pilgrims built.
Yes.
It was super cool. So the Pilgrims came in 1620, and they basically had to build and start foraging for food. So their main thing was just survival.
Yeah, and it really was.
yeah.
But this whole plantation's recreation also included the Native American settlements.
It did.
As well as the Puritan Pilgrim settlement as well.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to kind of walk through and really hear the history and the interactions and see really how they were living.
Yeah, because they had actors there, you know, that you could ask questions and they would answer as if they were really the settlers or the Native
Right.
Americans. It was really cool.
It was really cool. So there is so much more to say about it.
We could talk for
but
days.
we could talk for days about it. But really, it just was
Yeah.
a really fun historical experience.
And the other
for
thing we
us.
did, kind of in theme though, is you can drive the original street that village was built on.
Yeah.
Obviously now none of those houses are there because it's part of Plymouth. I mean, it's
Right.
part of downtown. But it was just so cool to walk down and drive down these roads that are just really from 1620.
20.
And it's so cool.
And not too far from that original street was Plymouth Rock.
Well, naturally, because
Right.
theoretically,
Theoretically.
the rock is where they stepped off the boat onto, we don't know if that's true, but
What we did learn, though, about Plymouth Rock was that Plymouth Rock, what we know about it, is all based on hearsay. hearsay.
Yeah,
and
no written documentation
There's no
for
written
it.
documentation. It's basically from a grandfather to a grandson, and then that grandson has passed it on through generations.
Yeah.
And that's how we know about it, which was so interesting to learn.
It was cool. It
Yeah.
was cool. And we've learned so much just about the history, and I mean, it's like the kids' history lesson and far exceeded what I learned in high school.
I know.
So it was so much fun to learn about that, and just to see where a lot of America kind of started taking place.
You didn't silence your phone.
Fresh vegetables, but you were also
This is Andy. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds positive. Thank you. Bye. We have to get back to our friends. It was a great time we spent in Massachusetts. I'm so sad we didn't get any further west, but then we'll have to
Yeah.
come. We'll have to come back.
We'll have to come back.
So come back for the next video. The next video is going to be probably 3 states in one because it was
Yeah.
so fast and kind of blazing through, but it was a great time. And we will catch you guys all in the next video.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye. All right, so it's our first state southbound after Maine. And so let's get on. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. See, it's the first of the itty bitties too.
Ooh, and it's a white stain.
Do our best.
Like, I guess all the other ones are blue because of their state flag or whatever. I don't know.